मोघकर्माणो मोघज्ञानविचेतसः राक्षसीम् आसुरीं चैव प्रकृतिं मोहिनीं श्रिताः महात्मानस्तु मां पार्थ दैवीं प्रकृतिमाश्रिताः भजन्त्यनन्यमनसो ज्ञात्वा भूतादिमव्ययं सततं कीर्तयन्तो मां यतन्तश्च दृढव्रताः नमस्यन्तश्च मां भक्त्या नित्ययुक्ता उपासते ज्ञानव्यज्ञेन चाप्यन्ये यजन्तो माम् उपासते एकत्वेन पृथक्त्वेन बहुधा विश्वतो मुखम् अहं क्रतुरहं यज्ञः स्वाधाहम् अहम् औषधं मन्त्रोऽहम् अहम् एवाज्यम् अहम् अग्निरहं हुतम् पिताहम् अस्य जगतो माता धाता पितामहः वेद्यं पवित्रम् ओङ्कार ऋक्साम यजुरेव च गतिर्भर्ता प्रभुः साक्षी निवासः शरणं सुहृत् प्रभवः प्रलयः स्थानं निधानं बीजमव्ययम् तपामि अहं वर्षं निघृणामि उत्सृजाम्य च अमृतं चैव मृत्युश्च सद् असद् चाहम् अर्जुन त्रैविद्यमां सोमपाः पूतपाप इष्ट्वा स्वर्गतिं प्रार्थयन्त ते पुण्यम् आसाद्य सुरेन्द्रलोकम् अश्नन्ति दिव्यां दिवि देवभोगान् ते त्वं भुक्त्वा स्वर्गलोकं विशालं क्षिणे पुण्ये मर्त्यलोकं विशन्ति एवं त्रयी धर्मम् अनुप्रापन्ना गतागतं कामकामा लभन्ते अनन्यश्चिन्तयन्तो मां ये जना पर्युपासते तेषां नित्याभियुक्तानां योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम् येऽपि अन्यदेवता भक्ता यजन्ते श्रद्धयान्विताः तेऽपि मामेव कौन्तेय यजन्ति अविधिपूर्वकम् अहं हि सर्वयज्ञानां भोक्ता च प्रभुरेव च न तु माम् अभिजानन्ति तत्त्वेनातश्च्यवन्ति ते यान्ति देवावृतदेवान् पितॄन् यान्ति पितृव्रताः भूतानि यान्ति भूतेज्य यान्ति मद्याजिनोऽपि मां पत्रं पुष्पं फलं तोयं यो मे भक्त्या प्रयच्छति तदहं भक्त्या अपहृतम् अश्नामि प्रयतात्मनः यत्करोषि यदश्नासि यज्जुहोसि ददासि यत्तपस्यसि कौन्तेय तत्कुरुष्व मदर्पणम् शुभाशुभफलरेवं मोक्ष्यसे कर्मबन्धनैः संन्यासयोगयुक्तात्मा विमुक्तो माम् उपश्यसि समोऽहं सर्वभूतेषु न मे द्वेष्योऽस्ति न प्रियः ये भजन्ति तु मे भक्त्या मयि तेषु चाप्यहम् अपि चेत् सुदुराचारो भजते माम् अनन्यभाक् साधुरेव समन्तव्य सम्यग् व्यवसितो हि सः क्षिप्रं भवति धर्मात्मा शश्वच्छान्तिं निगच्छति कौन्तेय प्रतिजानीहि न मे भक्ता प्रणश्यति मां हि पार्थ व्यपाश्रित्य येऽपि स्युः यो पापयोनयः स्त्रियो वैश्यस्तथा शूद्रस्तेऽपि यान्ति परां गतिं किं पुनर्ब्रह्मणः पुण्यभक्ता राजर्षयस्तथा अनित्यम् असुखं लोकम् इमं प्राप्य भजस्व माम् मन्मना भव मद्भक्तो मद्याजी मां नमस्कुरु मामे वैश्यसि युक्त्वैवम् आत्मानां मत्परायणः हरिः ओम तत्सत्. Thank you, Mataji. Mataji, since it's already 11, can we skip greeting? Okay.
Yes, I'll start.
Yeah, I'll just read.
Yeah.
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंतकोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय. My humble obeisances to all the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. We welcome each one of you to Bhakti Sangha mid-morning session. And we'll read Srila Prabhupada's quote for today. The quote is, there are two ways of association, by Vani and by Vapu. Vani means words and Vapu means physical presence. Physical presence is sometimes appreciable and sometimes not, but Vani continues to exist eternally. This was instructed by His Divine Grace at Bombay, November 10th, 1974. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. We welcome each one of you to our Bhakti Sangha mid-morning session, and we are continuing our Caitanya Bhagavat series. And we have our esteemed speaker, Her Grace Pritivilasini Mataji. And Mataji will be talking on Caitanya Bhagavat Antya khanda, third chapter, from texts 423 to 441. Thank you so much, Mataji. We are eagerly waiting to hear your class. Please go ahead, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all so much for joining us. We'll start with the prayers. ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकाय चक्षुरुन्मीलितं तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। मुखं करोति वाचालं भङ्गं लङ्घयति गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं कृष्णचैतन्यमीश्वरम्। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादाय दुष्टाय जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैताचार्य श्री प्रसादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे आजानुलम्बितभुजौ कनकावदातौ सङ्कीर्तनैकपितरौ कमलायताक्षौ विश्वम्भरौ द्विजवरौ युगधर्मपालौ वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरौ करुणावतारौ जयति जयति देव कृष्णचैतन्यचन्द्रो जयति कीर्तिस्तस्य नित्या पवित्रा जयति नित्यं तस्य विश्वेश्वमूर्तिर् जयति नित्यं तस्य सर्वप्रियाणाम्. We are reading from Sri Caitanya Bhagavat, and basically I think the verses given for today is 421 onwards. And I'm sorry, again, I'm a backfill speaker because today's speaker was changed in the last minute. So the agenda for today will be, we'll first read verses 423 to 444, 441, and then I'll just speak a little bit about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement, especially in Navadvip Dham, because that is the topic for today. So the background is that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was on his way to meet some devotees. Especially, we see that Mahaprabhu, he went and hid in Kulyagram, actually. That is the background of this section. He went and hid in Kulyagram, and everybody started blaming Vidyavachaspati. Initially, all the people who went to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they were thinking that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in Vidyavachaspati's house. But when they went and saw, mm, they realized that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not there in Vidyavachaspati's house. So they all started holding Vidyavachaspati responsible, and they called him a liar. And somehow or the other, the news spread that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had gone to Kulyagram, and he was actually in the house of Chakri Chattopadhyaya's house. So everybody, all the devotees, Vidyavachaspati and all the devotees, they all went to Kulyagram. But then in Kulyagram also, since they went, they could not see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at that time. Thousands and thousands of kirtan groups, they were singing all day and night, and they went there. But what happened? They didn't find Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he personally revealed himself to Vidyavachaspati. Then Vidyavachaspati offered very beautiful prayers, and he made a kind request to the Lord, telling the Lord that, see, now I'm responsible. A Brahmana is now being called a liar. So please, come and reveal yourself to all these thousands of people who are waiting for your darshan. So he makes a very ardent request, and finally Mahaprabhu reveals himself, and all the citizens, all the people, they are extremely happy. They are so happy that finally they could see the crest jewel of all sannyasis. And once they saw Mahaprabhu, what happened? Unlimited people started chanting the name of Hari. That is what you do when you see the Supreme Lord. Automatically, the name of Hari starts vibrating in our tongue. So, like this, there were thousands and thousands of Kirtan groups, and they all sang and transcendental ecstasy. So, like this, it appeared that the entire world was filled with the transcendental vibration of the holy names. So, this is how the power of the Lord is, and this is the power of the holy names of the Lord. And in the previous session, we stopped at a point where there is a nice verse by Navandas Thakur. He says, the birth, activities, education, Brahminical behavior of a sinful person who, under the control of Maya, denies the existence of the Supreme Lord, who is full of all potencies, are useless. Such sinful person is condemned by all. So only a person who's in Maya cannot acknowledge the greatness of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and understand that he is the Supreme Lord. So the birth, activities, education, behavior of a Brahmana who does not accept Mahaprabhu as the Supreme Lord is useless. So you may be full of all sorts of opulences, you may have high birth, you may have great learning, but if you're not able to understand that this Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then all that you have acquired is practically useless. And such a person is a liar. Such a person who doesn't understand and value Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Such a person is a liar. So we continue from 422. 422, we have to do till 441. We'll read and we'll analyze these verses. Then we'll talk a little bit about the Sankirtan that was inaugurated specifically in Navadvip by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because that is the topic of today. 422. भज भज अरे भाई चैतन्य चरणे अविद्या बंधन कंदे यहार श्रवणे. Oh brothers, just worship the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. And hearing his topics, one is freed from bondage of ignorance. So if we want to be free from bondage of ignorance, if we want the avidya bandhana khanda, that means if we want this avidya bandhan to be removed, this bondage of ignorance to be removed, the best way for us is to hear Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita of Caitanya Bhagavata. It is filled with the nectar. It is said that where Bhagavad Gita ends, where Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, Aham Tvam Sarva Papibhyo Mokshayishyami Vashacha. So he says, surrender unto me. I've told you so many different ways of religion, but you don't have to follow everything. There is only one simple thing you have to do. Surrender unto me and always think about me. I mean, he says, that you just think about me. Manmana bhavamat bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. That's how he ends the Bhagavad Gita. He is given the instruction. But then in Srimad Bhagavatam, he takes on from there about in Bhagavatam, the details of bhakti is elaborated right from the very first verse. The very first verse begins with Janmadhyasya Tonvayadi Tanataschatteshvabhidya Swarat. This Abhignya Swarat, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is Vasudeva, he is Krishna, and he's put everybody in illusion. He's casting everyone in illusion. But there is only one way for us to come out of this illusion. Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalaya Murahu Rasika Bhavaka. Come and drink this Bhagavatam. This Bhagavatam is talking about bhakti. When you perform the activities of devotional service, you can come out of this ignorance, says Bhagavatam. And Bhagavatam elaborates on the process of bhakti, talking about various devotees who perform this process of devotional service. And with their examples, we can understand how one may follow in their footsteps and also perform devotional service. Towards the end of Bhagavatam, we see the revelation of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna Varnam Krishna Krishnam Sangopangastra Pashadam Yajne Sankirtanapaya Yajanti Yesnodasa. So the intelligent people, what will they do? Yes, bhakti is the process, but specifically in the age of Kali, what should you do? That the intelligent people, the Sumedha, they chant the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This Hare Krishna Mahamantra was inaugurated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So all that we have to do is worship the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the special incarnation for this age of Kali, who came to give this Mahamantra, who came to give love of God. So if we just worship the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya, we can be freed from bondage. When we read Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita or Caitanya Bhagavat, we see the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the activities he performed. And interestingly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela is more relatable than what we read in Srimad Bhagavatam or other scriptures. The reason is because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came very recently in this time and age. When we read the life of the associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we understand practically how devotional service should be carried out. Each and every associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has exhibited tremendous Vaishnava qualities. And when they associate with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the exchanges they have, when you study these exchanges, we get a lot of revelation of exactly how this devotional service can be perfected to the point of getting love of God. So, Vrindavan Das Thakur is telling, oh brothers, just worship the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya. By hearing the topics of Sri Chaitanya from either Chaitanya Bhagavat or Chaitanya Charitamrita, what happens? You become completely freed from the bondage of ignorance. Not just that, you will also get something so high, which is love of God, which no other process can award us. Next 423. Yahara smarane sarva tapa vimochana bhaja bhaja henanyasi mantra charana. Just worship the lotus feet of the crust jewel among sannyasis. So he is called as a Nyasi Mani, Manira Charana. Nyasi Mani. Nyasi means sannyasi. Mani is a jewel. So he is a jewel among all sannyasis. What should we do? All that we have to do is we have to worship the lotus feet of that crust jewel among sannyasis. And if we just Yahara Smarane, Sarva Tapa Vimochana. All the tapatrayas that we have, Adideva, Adipurna, Adideva, these are the tapatraya. Bhagavatam also says, tapatrayon moolanam, Srimad Bhagavatam Mahamuni Krite Kimva Parevishwaraha. So when you read Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavatam states all the tapatrayas removed. But remember that Srimad Bhagavatam itself culminates in the Leela of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the 11th canto. So if you read Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and Chaitanya Bhagavat, how much tapatraya can be removed? Just imagine that. So just if you remember Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one gets liberated from all these different tapam, all the miseries of this world. 424. Hemata Chaturdike Dhiti Sankirtana Anandi Bhashina Prabhu Lali Bhaktagana. As the Lord and his devotees saw everyone engaged in congregational chanting, they floated in the ocean of ecstasy. So this is the most pleasing thing to the Lord. The Lord and the spiritual master, they are always pleased. And the devotees are engaged in the holy names, appreciating the Lord through the chanting of the holy names, glorification of the Lord through the holy names. So the Lord was very satisfied. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to this world, he said, I have so many fruits to give. I need some help. How many fruits can I distribute alone? I need all of you to carry these fruits and distribute them. What is the fruit he's talking about? He's talking about the fruits of the holy names that is going to bestow love of God. Right? So when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw that all his devotees and everybody was engaged in this congregational chanting, everyone was floating in ecstasy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's heart was very, very pleased. Anandadaraya Purna Sri Gaura Sundara Nina Chaturti Jhala Vira Jhala. The tears of ecstatic love that flowed from the eyes of Gaura Sundar resembled the Ganges, Jhanavi Devi, flowing in 4 directions. The descent of the Ganges is an interesting topic in the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. In the 5th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, when Ganga Devi desires to come to this world, she tells Bhagirath Maharaj that I'm okay to come, provided there is a suitable male to hold the force of my waters. And Bhagirath Maharaj, he requests Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva says that he can sustain it on his jata, on his head. He sustained Ganga Devi, the force of Ganga Devi on his head, and then Ganga flows in four branches out of there. And the four branches, they fall on Mount Sumeru, and then they fall down in four branches, and then they come to the world. Okay, so like that, Ganga flows in four directions. You can see there is a very beautiful graphic representation of Ganga falling on Mount Meru and dividing into four branches as Ganga falls on earth. Similarly, that love that Krishna, our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, had, it was flowing like the waters of the Ganga and beautiful streams, like steady streams from his eyes. So the tears of ecstatic love that flooded from the eyes of Gaurasundar resembled the Ganga water flowing in four directions. Ganges has a beautiful steady stream. So that's how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's tears of ecstasy is. 426. Bhakti nahi parananda stuti apanara sankitana ananda vihwala avatara. The Lord lost external consciousness in transcendental ecstasy. He was the incarnation of the overwhelming ecstasy of Sankirtana. Sankirtana Ananda Vihvalavatar. Beautiful name was Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was celebrated by so many different names, but here is a very beautiful name. Sankirtana Ananda Vihvala Avatar. He is the incarnation of the overwhelming ecstasy of Sankirtan. So, if there is a personality you can create who can exhibit overwhelming ecstasy of Sankirtan, that personality is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, basically, our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he himself embodies this aspect of overwhelming ecstasy of Sankirtan. Some people have a natural taste for Sankirtan. They sit in Kirtans and they sing and they hear and they're so absorbed. I don't have any absorption or so much taste for Kirtan, but I have seen people who can get really absorbed in Sankirtan. And they are transported to a different zone, to a different realm. So much so they're not even aware of what someone else is talking or what is someone else is trying to convey to them because they are so absorbed in the holy names. And they just get into a state of ecstasy. But imagine an ordinary person, how much ecstasy can he get into? Maybe he might have a little few drops of tears from his eyes listening to the holy names and absorption. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he exhibits all the 8 different transformations in ecstasy when he hears the holy names. So he's called as the incarnation of the overwhelming ecstasy of Sankirtan. Sankirtan Ananda Vihpala Avatar. This is our Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so pleased when everybody was chanting the holy names. So he felt very happy that people are taking up the process and were able to hold on to these fruits that he has come to freely distribute. Sampradaya Prabhu Dhikna Sammukhe Tahaiti Nritya Kare Parananda Sukhe. The Lord jubilantly danced in the midst of whichever Kirtan party came before. This is again beautiful. So wherever Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is, so many different Kirtan parties around him. We see when he was dancing in front of the Jagannath Rath cart. So many different parties were formed, and each party had a party leader, a lead singer, a lead pradanga player, and so on, lead dancer. Like that, when everyone saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Kulina, they were so happy. They formed different groups and they danced. They were so jubilant as they danced. Tahara kirtana hina nare apanare hina mate ranga kare Sri Gaura Sundare. The members of the Kirtan parties considered themselves most fortunate. Such are the pastimes of Sri Gaur Sundar. Of course, If you are in front of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, if we are performing Kirtan in front of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what more better glory can one have? They consider themselves the most fortunate. For 29, Vivalera Agragadya Nityanadharaya Kakado Dhariyatari Aparadachaya. Sri Nityananda was the foremost of those who were overwhelmed with ecstasies. Sometimes he would grab the Lord and induce him to dance. The high-class people in Odisha are called Vigvalya. Nityananda Prabhu was intoxicated with love of Krishna and the foremost among those who were Vigvala or overwhelmed. Sri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Nityananda Prabhu is Avadut, Shiromani. He is also crest jewel of all the Shiromanis. And he's Balaram himself, how much ecstasy he must have displayed. From time to time, he would pull Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and dance with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. अपने का कन नृत्य करे तारा संगे अपने विह्वल अपनारा प्रेम रंगे. Sometimes he danced with the Lord. He remained overwhelmed in his own ecstatic love. Sometimes Nityananda Prabhu, he would forget his existence also. हे माता सर्वलोक महानंदी भाषे संसार तरीला चैतन्य प्रकाशे. Everyone floated in an ocean of ecstasy. The entire world was delivered by the appearance of Lord Chaitanya. Wherever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went, everybody was delivered. When he went to Vrindavan Yatra, everybody was delivered. When he went to South India Yatra, everyone was delivered. When he went through the jungles of Jharkhand, the animals were delivered. The innate stones were delivered. Everybody, the inanimate stones, they were also melting in the presence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Jharkhand Yatra, I think this is arranged by Loknath Goswami Maharaj. If you go online, you can see how even the stones were melting in the presence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You can see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's footprint, the footprint of a deer, and so on. The animals and a lion and deer, who are supposed to be big time enemies from birth, they were kissing each other. Uh, they were in ecstasy because of love of God. So wherever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went, he induced everybody to chant the holy names. And everybody was floating in an ocean of ecstasy, and the entire world was delivered by the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. यतयेके आईसे लो कदा अधिक होते सबे आशिया देखे प्रभु नाचिते. People came from the 10 directions to see the Lord. Sabe Ashiya Deke Prabhure Nachite and Dasha Dikke Hoite. From Dasha Dik, from 10 different directions. What are the 10 directions? You have the northeast, southwest, northeast, southeast, southwest, northwest, the Nadir, and the Zenith. So totally 10 directions. So Sarvadik, from all the Dashadik, people came to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Imagine Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is dancing in front of everyone. We know how in Shiva Sangan, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would dance in privacy. Now this was an opportunity, and many people wanted to see the dance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But this was a great opportunity. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing openly in public, and he was manifesting such beautiful symptoms of ecstasy, and people around him were continuously chanting the holy names. So, hearing this very wonderful event, people came from all the 10 directions to see the Lord dance. Bhakya nahi prabhura vikvala prema rasa dekhi sarva loka sukha sintu maje bhashe. Being overwhelmed with ecstatic love, the Lord lost his external consciousness. On seeing this, everyone floated in an ocean of happiness. Yara prakashayata ekya papi chila uttama madhyama nicha sabe para hoila. All the sinners of the Kulyathe, slightly sinful, moderately sinful, and the greatly sinful were delivered. So we can imagine where we fall. Are we slightly sinful, moderately sinful, or greatly sinful? Doesn't matter in what condition you are. By the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even the most fallen can be delivered. Once, I always tell this in every class that we have this topic about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu delivering the most fallen. Um, Once Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj, if I'm not wrong, he was giving a class in Atlanta, and he was telling the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the most beneficent incarnation. He is Avdharya Avatar, and he delivers the most fallen. And then, as the class went by, suddenly he stopped and he asked a question. So, what is the qualification to receive the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? And our Revati Mataji, she's not on the call, but she said, uh, Maharaj, the qualification is you should be the most fallen. No, that is not a qualification. The qualification is that you should understand that you're the most fallen, meaning you should really feel that you're the most fallen. You should not just say, I'm the most fallen, I'm the most fallen, give me mercy, give me mercy. No. You should really have that bhav that you're the most fallen. Then such a person who has so much humility is the most qualified actually to receive the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's not that you should be the greatest sinner to receive the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because then everyone will say, okay, this person is the greatest sinner, so he's the most qualified to receive mercy of Sri. All of us are not qualified. The worst of the thieves and the worst of the rascals is the most qualified to receive the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's not like that. A person who feels, who thoroughly thinks that he indeed is the most fallen, such a person who has such a genuine feeling, he's the most qualified. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will give love of God to that person. That is the understanding. Various classes of sinful people lived in Kulia, which was situated across the Ganges from Sri Mayapur. All the types of sinners, the slightly sinful, the moderately sinful, and the greatly sinful, were freed from their offenses by the Lord's mercy. However, I did say that you should have the feeling that you're the most fallen to receive the greatest mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is true. But everybody gets the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in various ways, to at least to the point that their offenses are freed. Like you may be a very sinful rascal, you might have made hundreds of offenses, but those offenses are absolved by the presence and the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But to get love of God, you should have the right qualification, which is you should feel that you're the most one. Okay, so there is a difference there. But then the touch of the Lord, the glance of the Lord, the presence of the Lord, it is going to purify everybody, right? It doesn't matter what background you're coming from, how much prarabdha karma you have, how much sanchit karma you have, all that doesn't matter. The presence of the Lord can deliver everyone from sinful activities, especially Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is such a merciful incarnation. Krishna has so many expectations. He's a very difficult God, very difficult to handle. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, very simple. It's like our Guru Maharajas, very ready to give, very ready to give. So that is the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. They are willing, they have come here so that they can deliver us. So this Audarya Avatar. In Kali Yuga, you might be an Uttama Madhyama, or you might be a Uttama Madhyama and Nicha. You may be up, you may be at the topmost rung of sinful people, Madhyama rung of sinful people, or the bottommost rung of sinful people. Whatever sort of papi you are, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can deliver you. And that's what happened to all the people in Kulia. 439. Kulia grame te chaitanyera prakasha ihara shravani sarva karma bandhanasha. Now, okay, the people in Kulia, they received so much mercy. They were so fortunate. They were bhagyavanta. They saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu face to face somehow or the other. They sang and danced in front of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They saw the dance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu falling in ecstasy. Yes, indeed, we are most fortunate, irrespective of their backgrounds. But then what about us? We have Mahaprabhu's deities, we have Mahaprabhu's Leela Charita, in front of us. So are we also going to be delivered? That's the question. And Vrindavan Das Thakur says, Kuliya Gramete Chaitanyena Prakasha Ihara Shravane Sarva Karma Bandhananasha. Anyone who hears this pastime about the Lord's manifestation in Kuliya becomes freed from the bondage of all fruitive act. So this is the beauty. Anyone who hears the section of the Lord's presence in Kuliya, how the Lord delivered everybody, such a person can also be freed from bondage of all fruitive activities. That's why in all our scriptures, be it Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavata, everything, there is always a Phalashruti. Hearing the pastime and reliving that pastime, meditating on that pastime, thinking about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, like as if you are there when that pastime happened and you're witnessing him face to face. Just that meditation itself is enough to deliver you from the most sinful activity. It's so beautiful, right? When we read Ekadashi Mahatmya, for example, all those different details is given about how you should observe, what you should do, this, that, so many details. And then very mercifully, our Shastras say, it's okay, at least if you have heard this, that itself is enough for your purification. At least listen to this. Like that, any pastime, Gajendra Moksha. The Lord came personally to deliver Gajendra. One may think, will the Lord come if I call him? Yes, he will come. But you should call with the faith that Gajendra called. Okay, if you're not able to do that, at least think about Gajendra Moksha, you'll get the same benefit. So merciful, right? You think about this pastime that happened in Kulia. You didn't see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it's okay. Think about it, meditate about it. Think that you are also there, you'll get the same benefit that the Kulia Gramvasis also got. That's what Chaitanya Bhagavata is telling, that's what Vrindavan Das Thakur, who's Vyasdev himself, is telling. 439. 439 we just read. 440 to 441. सकल जीवेर प्रभु दर्शन दिया सुख माया चित्त वृत्ति सबर करिया तबे सब आपन पार्षद गण लाइया वशिलेन महाप्रभु भय प्रकाशिया. After giving darshan to everyone and filling their hearts with happiness, Mahaprabhu sat down with his associates and returned to external consciousness. After filling everyone's heart with ecstasy, happiness, Mahaprabhu then he regains his consciousness. That's it for today. So, this is the beautiful pastime of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dancing in ecstasy in the Navadvip area, Greater Navadvip area in Kolinagram. I wanted to speak a little bit about the Sankirtan movement that was inaugurated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, especially the Sankirtan movement that happened in Navadvip. I just pulled a lecture of my Guru Maharaj so I could repeat the words. Uh, and as I already mentioned, I'm a last minute backup speaker. So I didn't have enough time to think through this and do some research before coming to class. So the best thing we can all do is just hear the words of our Guru Vargas who have spoken on this topic and been inspired. So I'm just going to say a few things from Guru Maharaj's lecture about the Sankirtan movement in Navadvip, how potent and how beautifully it was started, and how everyone is a recipient of the mercy that was started in the Sankirtan movement that was started in Navadvip. We all are very fortunate, actually. Through the flow of the grace of Prabhupada and our Guru Parampara, all of us are here together in Bhakti Sangha, in ISKCON. Though we are from different parts of the world, we all belong to different religious backgrounds sometimes, different races, different castes. Everyone has a different background. But then by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and the mercy of the Guru Parampara, we have all come together and we have become one family of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we should be very grateful to Srila Prabhupada for bringing us all together. And as devotees, we all know that there are so many holy places of pilgrimage in this world. But however, in the age of Kali, we see that everything has become so degraded. Now, the Dham itself will not lose its potency. But the way the Kali Yuga people perceive the Dham, that has become very, very degraded. Among all these dhams, there is one very, very special dham, which is Navadvip. Navadvip is known to shine very, very bright. It is supposed to be the most powerful dham in the world, especially in the age of Kali. Why so? Because it is considered to be the most munificent of all holy places in the age of Kali. Just like how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Avdharya incarnation, Avdharya avatar, most munificent incarnation. Similarly, the Dham of Navadvip, where these pastimes are currently happening, the section that was happening in Kulina, this entire area of Navadvip, that entire region, it is considered the most auspicious dham, the most Audharya dham. Just by stepping there, thinking about the dham itself, you can receive plenty of mercy that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had freely given there. Of course, Vrindavan for we Vaishnavas is considered the most holy. But then we should also know Navadvip is not different from Vrindavan. The pastimes of Navadvip are revealed in such a way that the sweetness of Vrindavan is accessible for everyone. There is a lot of sweetness in Vrindavan, but is it really accessible to everyone? But then, if we go to Navadvip, the same sweetness that is there in Vrindavan becomes more accessible. Why? The reason is we just read that now. Whether you are Nicha, Adhama, or Madhyama, or Uttama, whatever kind of papi you are, even the most disqualified, the most fallen people also get mercy in this Navadvip through the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is described by Srila Rupa Goswami as Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurat Krishna Nama. um, it's very, very potent, this dham. And we see that these devotees who are there, they were great recipients of the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In fact, before we came to Krishna consciousness, none of us heard of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, none of us heard of Navadvip Dham, none of us heard of so much about people outside India must have not even heard about the Bengal region, right? It was not even heard of. And but however, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, this greatest of all treasures is revealed to us. And Srila Prabhupada, during the 1970 and 71, he was so eager to develop a nice place in Navadvip to fulfill this vision of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He struggled for a very long time. He got some land that was filled with paddy fields. And somehow or the other, his disciples came and they lived in straw huts. They were all Western disciples. They took the austerity to live in straw huts amid snakes and whatnot, rats in the middle of these paddy fields. And finally, they established the international headquarters of ISKCON in Sri Navadvip. So it is so inconceivable. Some time ago, some years ago, this Bengal region, it was under communist government and they were not getting enough facilities to, to start a glorious temple. But Srila Prabhupada had so much faith. He had so much faith that someday this Navadvip Dham will become the international headquarters. He had so much faith that he got onto the Jaladuta with just about $7 in Indian currency, and he started a worldwide movement. And just to pay the rent in 26 6th Avenue, it was so difficult when he started his movement. But when he started his movement itself, he was thinking this is going to be an international movement. So he said International Society of Krishna Consciousness. At that time, it was not even local, the movement that he started. He just had a few disciples, a handful of disciples. And he said this will be an international movement. That is the faith that he had, the endeavor that he put in. And because of that sincere faith and endeavor, today we really have this international society. And we really have the headquarters as Sri Navadvip Dham, where this entire Sankirtan movement began. Uh, so, Haridas Thakur, he chose Haridas Thakur as that Namacharya. And if you read the life of Haridas Thakur, he didn't come from a proper Brahminical family or something like that, like some of the Goswamis were able to write great scriptures. Haridas Thakur was specifically chosen to be Namacharya because, in one sense, because of his disqualification. And in the sense that Haridas Thakur, he came from a Mohammedan family, he came from an outcast, but even an outcast who may consider himself to be the most fallen in this age and time, he becomes the greatest recipient of Sri Krishna's mercy, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. Haridas Thakur would chant 300,000 names of Krishna, that is about 192 rounds. 24 hours he was chanting the holy names. He was truly more humble than a made of glass and tolerant than a tree. He was ready to give respect to all without expecting none in return. This is the quality of a person. Externally, yeah, he may be unqualified, he may be a mlecha, whatever. But internally, what was his value? That is what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when Brahma made an offense, actually, this is there in Navadvip Dham Mahatmya. When Brahma made an offense to Sri Krishna, at that time, Krishna, he reveals to Brahma that he will take this Brahma will take this incarnation as Haridas Thakur. He will not have Brahma Loka, he'll just have a small hut in Navadvip Dham and he'll be continuously chanting the holy names and he'll purify everybody. So, this is the greatness of not only Navadvip Dham but also the greatness of this entire movement that was inaugurated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inaugurated the chanting of the holy names. He distributed the chanting of the holy names very freely from here. And he also named a person who may, in common eyes, be considered the most fallen, to become the Namacharya, to become the uh, person who is celebrated as the one who really takes these holy names to utmost sincerity. So we are all asked to follow in the footsteps of Ramacharya. Of course, we don't imitate him. We cannot sit and chant 192 rounds. But we can definitely follow in his footsteps. We can take inspiration from him and understand the value of what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in Navadvip Dham, when he was a little baby, when he was just born, he induced everybody to chant. We just saw about how he was freely giving love of God to everybody in Navadvitam, how Namacharya, the one who didn't have any qualification, become their Namacharya. But it was just not that in his youth he started this congregational chanting of the holy names. When he was born itself, when he was a little baby, he induced everyone to chant. And he specifically chose to appear during the lunar eclipse. That way, everybody was continuously chanting the holy names. And sometimes, as a baby, he would cry and he would not stop crying unless people chanted the holy names. Later, in his youth, he became a big scholar of grammar and he became a great teacher. But then he once went to Bangladesh and there Tapan Mishra came, Tapan Mishra. He was a wonderful devotee and he was sitting near Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was sitting near the Padma River and he was talking to all his students and some of his students were giving him gifts. Some of them were giving him Guru Dakshina, like some people were presenting him a coconut, somebody a bananas and so on. But then Tapan Mishra came and Tapan Mishra, he was very sincere. He was a very learned Brahmin, but he was very sincere. He had learned already from many yogis and many gurus. He had read many, many different scriptures. And Tapan Mishra had a sincere inquiry. He saw that there are so many opinions on various scriptures. But then he wanted to know what is the essence of all these scriptures. He really wanted to know what is the highest goal that is mentioned in all these scriptures. What is it that we should achieve? There are so many great scholars interpreting scriptures in 100 different ways. But truly, what is the essence of all these scriptures? Uh, he felt that I have read so much, but I have not understood anything. This is a true seeker. A true seeker, a scholar, is trying to find answers. He's reading so much, but he feels that there is so much more to learn. He feels he has only learned a little bit, a tiny bit, and there is an ocean of unknown. That is a true scholar. If a scholar thinks he has learned everything, he's an expert in everything, he has nothing more to learn, then he's actually the most foolish, right? And a classic example of this is the Yajnapatis and the Brahmanas. The Brahmanas, they thought they knew it all, they were performing these yajnas, they were very proud. But the Yajnapatis, they knew the essence of all these yajnas. When Krishna came and begged for some food, the Brahmanas were so puffed up. They said, no, my yajna is important. You wait till I finish my yajna. But then the Brahmana Patris, they went and they gave food because they know Krishna is ultimately the Supreme Lord. And this is the essence of all the yajnas that these people are doing, is to please Vishnu. So when Vishnu comes in person, first you please him, then you finish your yajna. So the Brahmana Patris, they were very smart. Huh? They knew the goal of life and they knew how to achieve it. So like this, there are so many different philosophies and so many people talking about the goal of life. Tapan Mishra, though he was highly educated, he didn't think himself to have known everything or to have mastered everything. He was actually very concerned. He thought this is more and more confusing. I really want to know what is the essence of everything. And he came and asked the right person, Nimai. Nimai was a great scholar, he was a great teacher, he was a great grammarian, and he is the one who had defeated the Digvijay Pandit, right? So everyone was going to him for education. He had 12 years of mastery in Sanskrit grammar, and so many people had gone to him. So when this Tapan Mishra had gone to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, the goal of life is unconditional, unmotivated, pure love for Krishna, the one supreme God of all living beings. And the way to achieve it is through practice of bhakti. And the primary practice of bhakti is the Yuga Dharma of this age, which is chanting the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So like this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for the first time, we find in the history of Sri Chaitanya Leela, especially Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, that the Lord initiates Tapan Mishra into specifically the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And he says, now you chant the holy names of the Lord. So, and he quotes from the Kali Santarana Upanishad. It's not that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, yeah, he's a great scholar. He knows everything. He has the answers. But it's not that he just gave an answer and he walked away. He also quoted. He said where it is coming from. He said, yes, this is from the Kali Santarana Upanishad. This 32 syllable Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. This is the essence of all scriptures. Recently, we were discussing this about third canto Srimad Bhagavatam. The third canto Srimad Bhagavatam, Kardama Prajapati, he is doing meditation and austerity because he wants to get darshan of the Lord. The Lord finally decides to give him darshan, and the Lord comes on Garuda. And when Kardama is waiting to get the darshan of the Lord, and Lord Krishna or Vishnu is coming on Garuda, there was vibration of the flapping of the wings of Garuda. This is the section of Bhagavatam. But the way Bhagavatam puts it is, while Garuda was flapping his wings and coming, there was the transcendental vibration of the Samaveda. That's how Bhagavatam explains. And we understand from the commentaries and also from different parts of other scriptures that Garuda himself is the personification of all the Vedas. And the flapping of Garuda's wings is especially indicating the vibrations of the Samaveda. Why Samaveda? because Samaveda is considered to be the most important, or rather the most beautiful section of the Vedas. And Krishna himself says, among the Vedas, I am Samaveda. So the essence of the Vedas is there in that Samaveda. But then Prabhupada in the purport, says something very beautiful. The essence of the Vedas is in the Samaveda, and the essence of all the Samaveda as well is the holy names Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So it appeared like as if Garuda, when he was flapping his wings, Kardama Prajapati was hearing this essence of all the Vedic literatures, which is the Mahamantra itself. So, like that, we are so fortunate, we have this Mahamantra, especially given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told this to Tapan Mishra. And Tapan Mishra, he tells Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, actually, you know what, I had a dream. And in my dream, there was a celestial person who revealed that you are non-different from Krishna himself. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu smiles and he tells him, don't tell the secret to anyone. And Tapan Mishra, later he wanted to go back to Navadvip because he knew that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was to go to Navadvip to begin the Harinam Sankirtan movement. And but however, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asks him to go to Varanasi. Because Varanasi is especially the capital of the Mayavadis, and there were no devotees there except for Chandrasekhar Acharya. So Tapan Mishra initially didn't want to go to Varanasi. He wanted to go with Lord Chaitanya. But then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, you go there and I will soon come to Varanasi and I will teach many people how to attain the goal of life. So like this, Lord Chaitanya, he blesses Tapan Mishra. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also goes to Gaya, we know that. And there he meets Ishwarapuri. And that is where, when he meets Ishwarapuri, that is when he takes the blessings of Ishwarapuri. He receives the mantra from Ishwarapuri. He gets initiated by Ishwarapuri. And then, after getting blessings of a spiritual master, he officially inaugurates the Hare Krishna Mahamantra movement, the movement of chanting the holy names. It's a very nice meeting of Ishwarapuri and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, when he meets Ishwarapuri, he tells that ever since I met you in Navadvip, I can't stop thinking about you. And he connects with Ishwarapuri and he asks for his mercy. And Ishwarapuri gives initiation. He gives him the mantra, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu serves him. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after taking this mercy of a spiritual master, he inaugurates the Sankirtan movement in full blast. Years later, when he goes to Varanasi, he meets Prakashanand Saraswati and all these different Mayavadis and Vedantis. And actually, they were sort of criticizing him. And then he sat in the foot washing area and he was looking so effulgent. And then they themselves invite him, looking at the effulgence. And Prakashanand Saraswati's heart was moved by the humility and beauty of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And finally, we see how everybody's heart was actually transformed through the presence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as he inaugurated the Sankirtan Yajna. He transformed the hearts of everybody by using one weapon, which is the beauty. Yajna Sankirtana Praya Yajanti Hi Sumevasaha. He came and inaugurated this powerful Mahamantra, and just by his presence, by his beauty, he defeated so many people. He awakened the identity of every living entity, Jivenaswarapaya Krishnera Nityadas. So everybody's identity can be awakened. What is this Mahamantra? This Mahamantra is nothing but uncovering your long lost identity. And all of our identity is to be the servant of Krishna. So that's why when we chant the Mahamantra, they say the meaning is you're asking Srimati Radharani, oh please, Hare, engage me in the service of your Lord. Right? By asking that over and over, we understand that our true identity is nothing but being the servant of the Lord. So after he went to Gaya and so many other places, he comes back to Navadvip. And once he is back from Navadvip, after taking the mercy of a spiritual master, he officially starts the Sankirtan movement in Navadvip. And when he returned, he became, from that scholarly Nimai, he became Babuk Nimai, like they say. And he would go around asking, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? And he was chanting the holy names. So this was the time of transformation of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his inauguration of the Sankirtan movement. In fact, it is mentioned that once when he was glorifying Krishna's names, one of the scholarly students asked him a question. He said, um, please explain to me the meaning of dhatu. Dhatu means, you all know, right? Root. Verbal root is called dhatu. So this student, he asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, explain to me the meaning of dhatu. So at that time, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said, the dhatu, the root of all material existence is actually Krishna. The root of life is Krishna. The heart of life, the root of one's heart is Krishna. Every being, living being is rooted in Krishna. That is Dhatu. Everybody is part and parcel of Krishna. That is Dhatu. Because of Krishna's presence in the heart, the body is alive. The very source of life, which gives us all ability for sentient perception, the ability to hate, the ability to love, the whole concept of life is all based on Dhatu, for Krishna's presence within the heart. And when Krishna leaves the body is just a dead corpse. Even a great king who has beauty, power, wealth, who's very attractive, but when that dhatu, that verbal root of Krishna, leaves the king's body, he's just an ugly dead corpse. And even a son who loves him, who idolizes him, who has so much pride in him, he lights the body on fire or buries him under the ground. Without Krishna, there is no life, there is no dhatu. The verb root of all is Krishna. So one must always chant the holy names of Krishna. We should worship Krishna at every moment, whether we are sleeping, eating, waking, or running. Our only duty is to stick to that root, who is Krishna, by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So, like this, Lord Chaitanya was glorifying the holy names of Krishna, and he inaugurated the Sankirtan movement. And he made everyone chant the holy names. He said, repeat after me. And he said, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So, like this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he started this beautiful Sankirtan movement in Navadvip. And to this day, that Navadvip is the root. And to this day, it is spreading in all directions, all over the world. You keep that sensory vibrator. The root is in Navadvip. From there, the vibrations are going out in all directions. And every town and village is now vibrating the holy names of the Lord by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who started the Sankirtan movement a long time ago. And so many people all over the world are now benefiting. So we are all very fortunate to be receiving this mercy. We are so fortunate to be receiving the knowledge of Sri Chaitanya Leela via Caitanya Bhagavata and Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So I'll stop here. And if you have any questions, thoughts, comments, I know there'll be many corrections also. So what? Please add. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you. Such a beautiful class. As I always say, when you come unprepared, you give more amazing classes. And first of all, we should thank you. You are not well. That is so visibly seen. But still, you took up this. I would say it's a fortune for us to hear from you. But since the speaker was not available, and thank you so much. Such a beautiful class you gave, Mathid. Really, really, really grateful to you. And
All glories to Srila Prabhupada. And honestly, I was reading out of a lecture.
the beauty of Guru Vargas and the way you are delivering it, Mataji. Thank you so much. Really loved how you said about the qualification of receiving Mahaprabhu's mercy. That is so beautiful. It is not that I'm a patit, I'm a patit. No, we have to understand there lies everything, right? Otherwise, it is just verbally we say I'm fallen. It's like a title. That fallen also seems like a title.
Title, yeah. I'm entitled to be fallen.
Yeah, that's how it is in my case. So, there's so much to learn. And also that, yeah, we think Nimai, when he was doing his scholastic pastimes, he was just exhibiting himself as a scholar. But today, it was a very beautiful thing what you said about the dhatu. It was so nice, Mataji. That is, a student asks what is dhatu, and Mahaprabhu gives that amazing response that dhatu of everything is Krishna. So beautiful. And a very nice class. Very grateful to you, Mataji. If there are any realizations or questions, Sunil Prabhuji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Ratna, wonderful class. Mataji, can you say more about how do I get the feeling that I am the fallen? Like you said, it's become entitled, title only, I am fallen, that's it.
But to feel that you're the most fallen, Guru Maharaj says first you begin with honesty, then humility will come. Sometimes we are not honest with ourselves, he says. I mean, I'm not telling you, he says for us, for me, that it begins with honesty. Accept our fallen situation first, then humility will follow. Sometimes we all say, I'm the most fallen, I'm most fallen, I'm most fallen, I'm not qualified. This comes out like, on the tip of the tongue very easily. But the point is, he gives the comparison of our great acharyas like Srila Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, or even Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, who has written Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. They say, I am more fallen than the worm in the stool, that is my condition. When they say that, they're really feeling like that. And that actually is humility because they are so exalted in one sense. They're actually very, very exalted. They're great personalities. Though they are so exalted and they have made such great contributions, they don't even think that it is of any value, or they don't take pride in it, or they don't think, okay, I'm doing some service to community or to Krishna. No, they feel that what am I doing? I'm just so insignificant in spite of their greatness. But we don't have any greatness. We have nothing to say that we did something big, but still inside we have so much pride. I'm a great achiever in Krishna consciousness. I've done this, I've given class, I've done this, I chant rounds, I chant 100 rounds, I wake up at 2 o'clock. Like that, we have so much pride in our mind, but in the tip of the tongue, we are saying, I'm very fallen, right? I'm very low. So that is not humility.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. So then what you should do, you should first become, Guru Maharaj says, first you should become, uh, you don't have to become humble right away. First, you have to become honest. First, to be honest, then humility will follow. Be honest. Say, yes, this is what I am. I am only so much. Then, when we realize and we are open about and honest, honesty is very important. We like to put on a show because we are worried about how people perceive us. But unless we are honest, humility will not come. That's how he explains. I don't know if it helps you.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Dandat Pranam Mataji, Hari Bol.
Yes. Praladananda Prabhu will answer your question better though.
Am I interrupting or someone want to ask?
No,
Okay.
you're
No, I just was giving some little reflection I have. That
Yes.
you are already emphasized that we are very fortunate, all of us who have taken mercy like this. Now, if I become complacent that, okay, I'm very fortunate, I should, I'm like this, that. But that mercy has to be passed on, right? That fortune has to be passed on. And this is what is going to please Lord Sri Krishna so much. He has said very clearly that in 18.69 there in Bhagavad Gita. Tasman manusyasi kaschin mein. Also, he says that ye me bhakta jana partha na me bhakta te jana. Mad bhakta nam ye bhakta te me bhakta tama mata. So if we become bhakta of bhakta, You know, Prabhupada Maharaj is our guru, Jagat Guru. So if we take his shelter of his pure devotees, and serve the purpose of spreading this, passing on the mercy which we have received so fortunately, Brahmand Brahmite Kaun Bhagyavan Jeev, like that. So if we do that little, Swalpapi dharma se traite mahto bhayat, Bhagavan has said that. So if we can distribute some books, right? Prabhupada says that, you know, distribute my books, like that. Just last week I ordered small books, Srila Prabhupada books, worth $638. All our group here, you know, we contribute and distribute all over, you know, Las Vegas and everywhere. So that is going to please Srila Prabhupada. That's I'm very sure of it, you know, and that that is going to help us. So this is little reflection I wanted to share, Mata. Very well. Thank you very much.
Very practical. Thank you. I think Sunil Prabhu will also agree. Yeah, that's the best way.
Right. Thank you.
Just start with giving out. Thank you, Prabhu. Anyone else?
Mataji, in the meantime, I know you're very sick. We will let you go very soon. I just want to address the chat. Sunil Prabhu is saying greatly sinful. Vrinda Gopika Mataji is offering her blessings to you, I will say. She is put
So sweet. Thank you. Thank you. It means so much to me. Thank you.
Vinita Gandharvika Mataji is saying we're for a beautiful class. Thank you so much. Neetu Mataji is thanking you. Vinita Gandharvika Mataji is saying hope you feel better soon. Sunil, thanks again. He says take care of your health. Shivani Mataji is thanking you and she's for good health. Amrita Radhika Mataji is saying it's a wonderful class and she's thanking you for your endeavors. And Vrinda Gopika Mataji is again saying Koti Koti Dandavats, and Sunil Prabhuji is saying yes, we have to pass the fortune. Yes, Mataji. And, thank you so much, Mataji. Please take care of your health. And with your permission, shall we offer obeisances to all the assembled devotees and yourself? One check. Kripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Patita
Pranam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namah.
Caitanya Bhagavata ki
Jai.
ki jai, Srila Prabhupada
Ki Jai.
Dasini Mataji ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Please take care.
Thank you, babe. Thank you.